Hello everyone, today we're going to do some beauty retouching. My name is Viktor Kyslyi, I'm a beauty photographer and a professional retoucher with over 15 years of experience. Let's get started. Today we have this beautiful photograph. It's my photo, taken a few years ago with a Mark II camera, Canon 5D Mark II. Let's see what we can do here. Since the photo was taken in RAW format, when we open it, it will not open in Photoshop, but in a preliminary program called Camera Raw. In this case, I won't do anything here. I won't change the color. I won't change the color because as a photographer, the photo was taken correctly from the start. So we immediately move directly to Photoshop. Click open. First, I'll crop the photo because I don't need so much extra space. Click on the crop tool, crop 2:3 like the original proportion, and cut off the entire top part. Cut a little on the left, but not much, and cut more on the right side. You can even cut a little more. And we'll still have to cut a little on the left. Great. That's how we'll work with the photo. Here we'll use my personal technique. First, we'll work with the technique of handling shadow spots. Convert our photo to black and white, darken the colors responsible for skin tone. Create a curve, adjust the curve for lightening. Remove unnecessary shadow spots that in my opinion are present in the photo. As a recommendation, I don't recommend zooming in too close. The closer you zoom in, the worse you see the whole photo, and you can easily overdo certain areas. So just as a recommendation, try not to zoom in too close, always work from a distance so your photos look more natural. Great. Let's see what result we've achieved. So the photo has changed its appearance in black and white. Turn off the black and white and see how the photo has changed in color. Great. This is more than enough for us at this stage. The next step will be all the work with imperfections. I will work with only one tool called the healing brush or healing tool and go over the imperfections. Our model is very beautiful, good, with good skin, and the makeup artist did a great job, so we won't have to struggle too much. Remember, working with imperfections will always depend on the original. When I say original, it's not just how the photographer worked, but also how the whole team worked, starting with how the model looks, whether she has imperfections or not, and then how the makeup artist worked, how your whole team worked. For me, the main rule in photography, not just in retouching, but in all photography, is that photography is not the work of the photographer. Photography is always the work of the whole team, especially in beauty where the model and makeup will take up most of your photo. Be sure to choose who you work with. Great, I won't play around too much, but I'll spend a little time on the makeup, and I'll work on the makeup with the stamp tool. Also, you need to work carefully to make sure we're working more or less naturally here. But we can already work on the makeup and make it more even, cleaner. For those who will work specifically in the beauty direction, these are important techniques to master. Be sure to make the tip very sharp, not blended. Great, and also on the other side. Good. And we'll work a little on the other side. All the work is done using the stamp tool. The main thing is to learn how to correctly select the hardness of the tool and never work with different opacity. Opacity should always be 100%. This is very important so that the photo doesn't look blurry. You shouldn't draw, you should copy certain areas and duplicate these areas in such a way that you can draw clear areas. Super, we won't overdo it here. I think what I've done is more than enough, but we need to work a little on the other eye. Wonderful, and just a little more, it's good on this side. Let's move on to the lips. Of course, you need to pay attention to makeup.
Mastery.
The stamp tool is always your practice. I don't use any specific techniques. There are techniques that help draw lips, but in my personal opinion, they take up a lot of time. And if you practice drawing lips live with the classic stamp tool, it will always be much faster. Let's not forget that we live in a new time where time plays a very important role. And it's not enough in the modern world to do retouching well. You must be able to do retouching not only well, but also quickly. Wonderful. Let's move on to the next stage. Here we will also use my author's frequency separation. There is such a concept as frequency decomposition. Frequency decomposition is a certain professional technique. And there are a lot of types of this technique. But I use my own. It was developed quite a long time ago, back in 2016. Since then, I have used this technique on almost all my photographs. The most important thing in any frequency separation is how you blur the photograph. We will blur through Gaussian blur, but it's not about the choice of blur type, it's about how much you will blur the photograph. Therefore, I recommend taking this part very seriously and seeing how your photograph looks after frequency separation with different types of blurring. We will work with you through the lasso tool. In my opinion, this is the best tool for this technique, which will make your photograph more magazine-like, give it a glossy look, but it's very important to blur correctly. And in this way we will go over all the clean open areas of the skin, but very carefully without overdoing it. Also, at this stage we can use another tool such as Mix-Kist. But remember, Mix-Kist is one of the most dangerous tools you have in Photoshop. And most people who use Mix-Kist in frequency separations can make a lot of mistakes with this tool. And I also do not recommend using all frequency separations that are based on the Mix-Kist tool. Mix-Kist can only be used on the heaviest areas, such as evening out makeup or slightly smoothing the lips. But using the mix brush on all the skin makes the photograph less natural and less realistic. Great, we can see what we got in the before-after version. I'll lower the opacity of the frequency separations a bit. I also recommend doing this, it helps keep the photographs more natural. And after that I move on to the stage of light and shadow drawing. Here we will also work through curves, by darkening and lightening photographs in certain places. From the very important tips, I use lightening and darkening only to enhance what is already on your photograph. If you try to use this technique not to enhance and reduce certain things, but to try to draw from scratch, you can very easily ruin the photographs. Therefore, I recommend working only on existing shadows and highlights that are already there on the photograph, but in no case. Do not draw them from scratch, it will always be noticeable. This is one of the basic but very important tips. We can enhance the blush and enhance the volume of the makeup, darken the corners of the eyes, and lighten the highlight area on both the right and left eyes. Also enhance the highlights, the existing highlights, excellent. Let's look at the before-after version. But we need to soften everything we've already done, therefore I will slightly blur our curves.
Excellent.
And let's see that our photograph has become more voluminous. After that, I will create a new general layer, go into the liquify tool with facial features. It's very important here not to change the person's proportions. Of course, it all depends on the photo, whether you're working with a client or a model. In some cases you can alter the appearance more, in others less. But liquify is also one of the dangerous tools in retouching, so try not to overdo it. I won't distort the photo too much, this photo is already quite classic and good as it is. But we can address certain nuances. And after that I can play around with the color a bit. We'll work with the selective color tool. Let's play with the reds. We'll enhance the highlights that are already present. We'll slightly reduce the yellow color. And enhance the texture of our photo using the channel mixer tool. Be sure to lower the opacity so the effect isn't too visible, and let's see. How the color has affected our photo. We can combine all the color adjustment layers into a group and look at the before and after.
Great.
Let's see what we've got as a whole. The changes are minimal, but they allow us to clean up and improve the photos. If the photo is much more complex, it will take us much more time. We need to take cleaning more seriously, but for this photo, it's more than enough. Thank you all, until next time.